Your mind is being hijacked every few seconds. Your attention is being pulled in different directions. Your phone buzzes. Your mind wanders. You think about what happened yesterday or worry about tomorrow. And while this is happening, while your focus is scattered like confetti in the wind, someone else is using their laser-focused attention to build the life you want. This isn't just about productivity. This isn't just about getting more done. This is about the fundamental law that governs all success, all achievement, all transformation. Where focus goes, power flows. And if you can't control your thoughts, if you can't direct your focus, then you can't control your life. The most successful people on the planet aren't just lucky. They aren't just talented. They have mastered the one skill that multiplies every other skill they possess. They have learned to control their thoughts and direct their focus. Like a laser beam, while everyone else's attention is scattered, theirs is concentrated while everyone else is distracted. They are deliberate, and that makes all the difference. By the end of this, you will understand why your current level of focus is keeping you trapped. You will discover the science behind mental control and why your brain fights against you. Most importantly, you will have a complete system for taking back control of your mind and directing your focus toward what matters most. This is not theory. This is the blueprint for mental mastery. Chapter 1. The Focus Crisis That's Destroying Your Potential. Let me tell you something that will shock you. The average person checks their phone 6 times per day. That's once every 10 minutes during waking hours. But it gets worse. Every time you get distracted, it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully refocus on what you were doing. Do the math. If you're getting distracted every few minutes, you're never actually focused at all. You're living in a state of continuous partial attention, and it's killing your potential. While you think you're multitasking, what you're really doing is task switching at light speed, and each switch costs you mental energy, clarity, and power. You're burning cognitive fuel without getting anywhere, like spinning your wheels in mud. But here's what's really happening. Every time your focus scatters, you're not just losing time. You're losing the compound effect of concentrated effort. Think about sunlight spread out. It warms you but focused through a magnifying glass. It can start a fire. Your attention works the same way. Scattered, it accomplishes nothing. Focused, it becomes unstoppable. The people who are dominating in every field understand this. They know that in a world full of distractions, the ability to focus has become a superpower. While everyone else is checking notifications, scrolling feeds, and jumping from task to task, they are going deep. They are entering flow states that most people haven't experienced in years. And in those states, they are creating value, solving problems, and building empires. You see this everywhere. The entrepreneur who built $1 million business didn't do it by checking email every 5 minutes. They did it by entering deep work sessions, where they could think strategically, solve complex problems, and execute with precision. The athlete who dominates their sport didn't get there by having their mind on 10 different things. They trained their focus like a muscle until they could shut out everything except what mattered in that moment. But most people never learn this skill. They never train their focus. They let their attention be pulled in every direction by notifications, by social media, by the endless stream of information coming at them every day. They think they're staying connected, but what they're really doing is disconnecting from their own power. And the cost is enormous. When your focus is scattered, your energy is scattered. When your energy is scattered, your results are scattered. You end up working twice as hard for half the results, because you never fully commit your mental resources to any one thing. You live in a state of mental mediocrity, always busy, but never truly productive, always moving, but never making real progress. This is why the gap between successful people and everyone else keeps growing. It's not just about talent or opportunity, it's about focus. The successful have learned to control their attention, and everyone else is letting their attention be controlled by forces outside themselves. One group is driving, the other is being driven. One group is focused, the other is fragmented. And the results speak for themselves. Chapter 2: The Neuroscience of Mental Control, and Why Your Brain Works Against You. Your brain wasn't designed for the modern world. It was designed for survival. In an environment where paying attention to everything could mean the difference between life and death. Every sound could be a predator. Every movement could be a threat. So your brain developed an attention system that's constantly scanning for new information, constantly with pleasure instead of pain. But here's where most people go wrong. They try to rely on external rewards like cheat meals or new clothes. These can work temporarily, but they don't create lasting change because they don't address the deeper psychological drivers of behavior. The most powerful rewards are intrinsic. They're related to identity and progress. When you complete a workout, you don't just burn calories. You become the type of person who works out. You prove to yourself that you can do hard things. You make progress toward a goal that matters to you. This is why identity-based habits are so much more powerful than outcome-based habits. Instead of saying, "I want to lose weight," you say, "I am a healthy person." Instead of, "I want to write a book," you say, "I am a writer." You start with the identity and let the behaviors follow naturally. Your brain will always move toward consistency with your identity. If you see yourself as a disciplined person, you'll naturally take disciplined actions. If you see yourself as someone who doesn't follow through, you'll sabotage your own efforts to maintain that consistency. This is also why social environment is so crucial. You become who you spend time with, because your brain is constantly absorbing social cues about what's normal and acceptable. If you're surrounded by undisciplined people, your brain will calibrate to that standard. If you're surrounded by disciplined people, you'll naturally rise to meet their level. The most advanced practitioners of discipline understand that they're not just changing their behavior, they're rewiring their entire nervous system. They're creating new default patterns that operate automatically. They're transforming their relationship with discomfort, challenge, and growth. Here's the most important part. This process is predictable and systematic. It's not about luck or genetics or personality. It's about understanding the principles of behavioral change and applying them consistently. You can literally engineer discipline into your life by following the right protocols. The first protocol is pattern interruption. You have to break your current patterns before you can install new ones. This means identifying the cues that trigger your current bad habits and either eliminating them or changing your response to them. The second protocol is progressive overload. Just like building muscle, building discipline requires gradually increasing the challenge. You start with behaviors that are almost too easy to fail. Then slowly increase the difficulty as your capacity grows. The third protocol is environmental design. You optimize your physical and social environment to support the behaviors you want. and eliminate the triggers for behaviors you don't want. You make the right choices easier and the wrong choices harder. When you combine these protocols with an understanding of how your brain actually works, discipline stops being a struggle and becomes a systematic process of transformation. You stop fighting against your biology and start working with it. You stop relying on willpower and start engineering inevitability.